Now, Democratic governors in California and New York are looking at redrawing their own congressional maps in response to plans from Texas Republicans. In California, 38% voted Republican last year out of 52 congressional districts. Only 9 are held by Republicans. So let's bring in ABC News' Melissa Adon in Los Angeles for more. Melissa, California Governor Gavin Newsom told reporters just last week that he's considering holding a special statewide election in November just so Californians can vote on new congressional maps. So tell me, how exactly would this work?
Exactly, Ike. So first up, we would be 3 months away from that. So they have 3 months to figure out how exactly they're going to present to the voters here a special election with a plan of redistricting. It is a little complicated in California because you want to keep in mind that since 2010, the state of California essentially came up with an independent board, and it was essentially something to protect the voters. And since then, they have redistricting in the state has been done so by a voter-approved independent Citizens Commission. So that would make it complicated for the voters. So what Newsom is proposing is directly in response to President Trump and now, of course, Governor Greg Abbott's plans for redistricting Texas, saying if we can drop a map to redistrict here in California, we could add those 5 missing Democratic seats here to our state. Now, that's going to face some challenges. So that's why they're saying if we do this in a transparent manner, we have the voters vote on it. Then if the voters feel that fed up about everything that's going on in Washington and the voters, of course, being overwhelmingly Democratic here in the state of California, then possibly they could agree to something like this. But of course, this is something that's definitely going to be challenged.
All right, Melissa. So the Democrats have a plan right now. So how are California Republicans responding to this?
Yeah, Ike, so no surprise there. That's already some of the challenges. Just today, one of the top Republicans here in California, Kevin Kiley, coming out with a statement saying, we will fight back, essentially saying that they will set up a plan to ban this, working on legislation to ban any possible gerrymandering, any possible redistricting plans, so it can come to fruition and possibly not even make it to the November special election. So that's what we're looking at right now. Of course, he brought up also the independent board that we have here in the state of California that essentially protects, within this last decades, the districts that were already created, trying to avoid these problems of either overpopulating areas with more Democrats or more Republicans. And of course, this is really critical for the Republicans of this state. There are only a few, and this could then put their own positions in jeopardy, Ike.
Now, Melissa, we're also now hearing from New York's Governor Kathy Hochul. What's she saying about redistricting?
Yeah, so New York's governor also going up to the state capitol in Albany just this morning and meeting with several Democrats there. That is something interesting, right? She is also saying that they will try to gerrymander their maps in response to Texas. However, the key issue here is that she's saying it's not likely going to happen before 2026. So she met with 6 Texas Democrats this morning. She's vowing to respond to the Republicans' plan to redraw that map, but it may not happen before the midterm elections. She want to emphasize this quote. She called it, "It's no longer the Wild West. We're not going to tolerate our democracy being stolen in a, quote, modern day stagecoach heist by a bunch of law-breaking cowboys." So she had some strong words to say, definitely essentially taking a stand, siding with Governor Newsom in this sense of saying no to what's going on in Texas.
Melissa Adon, we are playing musical chairs with these house seats. Thank you very much.